All right, if Bigfoot does exist, just what is it? Is it a relic human, an ape, something spiritual? Let's see if we can find some answers. Hey Bigfoot fans, it's Mojo from WASRT coming to you with another video. And in this video, we asked the question, what is a Bigfoot? So I'll put forth some theories that I've studied over the years about what exactly this creature could be. So first and foremost, the theory that the creature is no more than an undocumented ape-like creature. Now, this is a pretty popular theory among a lot of researchers, including Jeff Meldrum, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, who theorizes that the creature is actually Gigantopithecus blacki, which is a species discovered in the fossil records in Vietnam. And a lot of people actually subscribe to that theory. Another theory is that it's a human hybrid, or perhaps a missing link or a combination of two different early human species or multiple human species over the fossil record years. For example, Neanderthal, Homo sapien, Homo sapien sapien, and whatnot. Perhaps it's just a hybrid of early humans. Another theory is that Bigfoot exists in a parallel universe and crosses over into our dimension, occasionally to hunt or whatever it wants to do. When it's in our dimension, it is a living, breathing, flesh and blood animal. There's others that say it's just spiritual and it's not of this earth. So those are probably the most common theories. I do want to talk about some early fossil records that started in the late 1800s, where a lot of these Native American burial mounds were dug up and fossils were discovered of creatures that were anywhere from 6 to 14, 18 feet tall. And these fossils were allegedly shipped off to the Smithsonian and were never seen again. So there's a government conspiracy for you. And a lot of these Native American mounds still exist. And I have some pictures that I'll put up as well. Now, speaking of those mounds, I have a quote from Abraham Lincoln. He wrote this in the year 1848. Then Congressman Lincoln traveled to Niagara Falls and was so impressed by the imagery of natural wonder that he wrote down some notes, including the following. Quote, "When Columbus first sought this continent, when Christ suffered on the cross, when Moses led Israel through the Red Sea, nay, even when Adam first came from the hands of his Maker, then as now Niagara was roaring here. The eyes of the species of extinct giants whose bones fill the mounds of America have gazed on the Niagara as we do now." Now, was Lincoln referring to giant humans or extinct animals such as dinosaurs? Well, I don't think he's talking about dinosaurs, because he talked about giants that came from the mounds all across America. And you can look this up on the internet. The mounds are everywhere. And I just thought that was pretty interesting. There's also a theory about the Nephilim, a biblical supernatural beings, supposedly that were offsprings of human women and sons of God, proposed to be giants or proto-humans. Now, this appeared in the book of Genesis. Now, allegedly, the Great Flood happened because God was not pleased with the Nephilim and wanted to destroy them. That's just one theory. Now, you could tie the Nephilim theory into the great burial mounds across America and the giant skeletons that were taken from them, if you want to make that connection. Let's talk about the connection, or the possible connection, of Bigfoot with Neanderthal or early humans that leads to the theory of a human hybrid. Now, I personally think it's very possible that this creature is a human hybrid. When I say human, I mostly refer to modern humans such as Homo sapien, Homo sapien sapien, Homo erectus, and the Neanderthal. Neanderthal actually was known to live side by side with Homo sapiens for a brief period of time before Neanderthals died out about 40,000 years ago. Is it possible that Bigfoot are relatives of Neanderthal and human hybrids? I think that's possible. Now, those that may not believe that will reference the fact that Neanderthals were short. They were shorter and stockier than their Homo sapien counterparts, and that doesn't really fit the bill of a Bigfoot, who was allegedly a creature that can exceed 12 feet or more, depending on the sighting that you reference. But however, if they were to mate with Homo sapiens or Homo erectus, perhaps they grew larger over the years. And I heard an interesting theory about Neanderthals, and is Bigfoot actually Neanderthal or a offshoot of Neanderthal? Is the fossil records that we have of Neanderthal couldn't possibly tell us if they were completely covered in hair or not. Artist illustrations in Neanderthal will show that the creature was a hairier version of ourselves, but the fossilized records or the fossilized bones can't possibly tell us that, and it was just more of a scientific guess of what they look like. So it's very possible that Neanderthals were completely covered in hair, especially when you consider the fact that they lived during the Ice Age and often took shelter from the ice, snow, and otherwise unpleasant weather in Eurasia in plentiful limestone caves. They were built to withstand very cold environments, and being completely covered in hair would have helped them survive. So in conclusion, we ask the question again, what is Bigfoot? Well, obviously the answer is we don't know for sure. We won't know until one of them surrenders to me. Haha. No, we won't know until we have one to examine and to test the blood of the creature to find out what its DNA tells us. So until then, we'll just keep arguing about it. Stay tuned for another video down the line, and we'll talk to you later.